What did you learn from the Notre Dame game that you feel like you can take to some other key non-conference games that you've got that are really competitive?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I think it both ways, offense and defense, just continuing to work our ball screen coverage. Like, we were still not consistent in what we needed to do that way. So ball screen coverage for sure. And then just handling their press. It's different because Hidalgo really is like a one-man pressing machine. So we won't see a ton of that in the Big Ten, but it was good for us. And then just the fight, and we fought back. There was times where they could have pulled away for good, and I thought we fought back and made a run, but we got to be more consistent in everything, and then just scoring. We got to be able to put the ball through the basket, and there was droughts where we couldn't score. So stringing possessions together is something really, really important for us, and we just haven't been consistent in that.
Is some of that maybe with having not being in and having her back? I mean, how much can you maybe attribute to that, or what offensively?
Yeah, and that's hard, right? Because you're so happy to have her back, but then that's her first. She only practiced like one day full. I mean, that's a hard first game to come back, and you got Hidalgo picking you up full court when in my 20-some years of coaching, I've never seen one player be able to affect the game with pressure like she does. I mean, she's elite at that. So, then they have a 6'3" kid on her, denying her the ball. So, probably not ideal for a first game back from her. So, you could see there was a lot of hesitation in that first half, especially. You could see just there wasn't the chemistry. I mean, we threw passes we don't normally. It went to the fans and not our teammates. So I think a lot of that will just come. But where we're happy to have her back, it was not the ideal situation in terms of what game she came back from.
What's the adjustment you asked Jen to make when Makira comes back? I know it kind of reverts to normal.
Yeah.
But still, she was the primary, and now it's a shared thing.
And I think that it's, when Makira's back, now Jen doesn't have as much pressure, I think. So I think Jen thrives when they're both playing together. And Jen can go into really a scoring mindset and instead of like being the point guard and facilitating everything. And they play so well off each other. So you saw, Jen had 30, whatever. And Makira will get there, but I just think it's I think it's a comfort level too, that Jen feels almost more comfortable, and she's like, okay, I got Makira there. I think our whole team felt more comfortable with her out there, obviously, and more confident with her out there. So we just got to get back into the groove of those two playing on the court together.
Is there anything you like about this break where the 20-hour rule doesn't exist? You get to practice kind of whenever, and you get to kind of be around them as much as possible.
Actually, this week's been really good. This is something different. Normally, we're playing in a tournament this week, but I think that we are really able to get some people healthy, get some good practice time. We've worked on a lot of things this week that we really haven't had time to work on before because it was always in a prep mode. So I really, and now looking at kind of where we were with Makira coming back and even Gretchen being out, I think this was a perfect week for us. And now we'll go into a little bit more prep for Sunday, but we've really addressed some things, and hopefully we can tighten some things up because of this practice week.
What was maybe the idea behind having this, a different schedule where you didn't have a Thanksgiving tournament or some sort of tournament?
Yeah, I wish I could say it was just, we really thought through all that, but a lot of it's just when can you get games, who will play you. We really struggled to get teams to play us this year. So we're only playing 10 non-conference games because we couldn't get that one extra one. So it was a little bit different than our first year here when people were like knocking down our door to play us because everyone wanted to play us. So so it wasn't really, it just kind of happened that way with tournaments, and we decided to go into the West Palm tournament before Christmas, and that was the one we did last year during now. So it really just happened by winning the good games.
Thinking of the next game though, Canisius, obviously you're alum there. What kind of went into putting this on the schedule, and is this are you playing there next year maybe, or what's this kind of look like for them?
Yeah, this was, Ryan was in charge of our scheduling when he was here, and we were needing a game, and Canisius was someone that I told him to reach out to. I always thought it would be cool to play them, and we know the head coach there, and so she agreed to it, and yeah, we're going to go back there. I'm pretty positive we're going to make it happen where we go back there, which will be cool. Like, obviously for me to play there, but then to get Gretchen back too and get up into Buffalo. So yeah, I'm never in 21 years of coaching have never played Canisius, as an assistant or head coach. So it'll be fun.
How's Gretchen doing from an injury standpoint?
Yeah.
Do you feel like she could be fully back maybe either by this game or when you guys get to those Arkansas games, those non-conference games you're going to really need her for?
Yeah, I hope she's back by Arkansas.
Right.
Hopefully she'll be back even Sunday.
Okay.
She's progressing, and hopefully she'll be back, get her some of those games. She needs some game minutes, and that's where this next few games will be really good for her. So hopefully she continues to progress like she is, and she'll be back.
What have you maybe kind of seen from her development? I know it's obviously been cut off by the injury, but what have you maybe noticed from the first time that she played versus a couple of the other games that she's played?
I think just confidence. As freshmen, you need game reps, and I need to do a better job of making sure she gets in there and gets those game reps because we're going to need her. So I think confidence, comes from having some success in games, whether that's offensively or defensively. So it's unfortunate because that St. Peter's game was a game I really knew she'd play a ton of minutes, and then she gets hurt, in the 30 in. So, but hopefully this next stretch, these next few games, we can get her some really good minutes, and she can start feeling really, really confident out there. Because we're gonna need her. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're gonna need her as we get into conference play.
How have you handled? Everybody says it's a great problem to have, but how have you handled the added depth that you guys have and being able to incorporate that this year?
Yeah, you're right, because last year everyone kind of knew what they were doing, and there wasn't a ton of options. So, but it's like I've always handled it. We're very open, and we talk about it, and a lot of it is determined, by practice time and how you're producing, and our players know, they understand. I'm very honest with them about what their roles are, and just finished up. This week was also good because I got to have my individual meetings with all the individual players, which helps a lot. Just kind of really talk through some of that stuff. Everyone wants to play. Like you
Sure.
should want to play, but it's not always possible for everyone to play 40 minutes a game, obviously, and we have 14 people, and and roles are identified. But like I always say, roles can evolve. So keep the work in, trust the process. And I think our kids have been really great with that.
Can you go harder with your core key pieces this year in practice because they're not going 35 minutes in a game? You don't ask them to do that anymore?
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, right? And I
Right.
think some of that's still up in the air because
Right.
our new guys still have to produce, and they
Sure.
have to earn that in game time. So, yes and no. I also think we have to be really, our older guys are older, and they've played a lot of basketball, and then with Makira missing so much time, you don't want to really bring her back and kill her in practice, and now you have another injury. So I've
Sure.
been very cautious with that. So trying to kind of find that fine line between, pushing them, but yet not pushing them too hard, and then also getting our younger guys and our new guys a lot of experience in practice.
All good?
Thanks, Shauna.